Welcome back. Now, Asif Kapadia has directed documentaries including Senna, about Formula One champion Ayrton, and the Amy Winehouse Oscar winner Amy. In his new film, 2073, he's delivered a docudrama set in a dystopian future. The director sat down with Kami and Zeren.
I hope someone finds this. The event wasn't just one thing. It was a slow creep.
Asif Kapadia's vision of 2073. Authoritarian governments and out-of-control climate breakdown.
Minorities silenced. Dissenters arrested.
And the fictional narrator of this dystopian docudrama asks you, today's viewer, did you stick your head in the sand too?
It's too late for me. It may not be too late for you.
What were you trying to do with this film?
This film really came out of a feeling, and I suppose a fear of what the hell's going on in this country, what the hell's going on around me, in the world. Am I crazy? Or is there something going on everywhere? It doesn't feel positive, and I felt really just like worried. And my intention was, can I make a film which connects all these different dots to say, if you're worried about the climate, you need to understand tech. If you're worried about tech, you need to understand how power, money, and politics works. All of this is connected. Can I do a film about all of this, like a God's eye view of all of it? Wherever I've been in the world, the film is a bit of a mirror. I've shown it in Spain. All they could see was Valencia and the floods. And so they were really affected by the climate change. When I went to the US and I've shown it, all they could see was Trump because he literally had just been elected. Here, a lot of people are kind of affected by Brexit and, lobby groups. And that's a global thing. Money in politics, I think, is a lot of our root cause of a lot of our issues right now.
You end up with a pretty darn bleak view of where we're headed. When did you realise it was going to be such a hopeless vision?
I think there's hope in it, but my aim of the film is to give people information, and we're going to have to change things. It's interesting. If you write a book, make a piece of music, you don't have to give a happy ending or a solution at the end of that work of art. There's a bit of a pressure, which I find kind of annoying, with documentaries that they've got to tell you what to do in the last 5 minutes. I'm not doing that. In fiction films, I've seen some really amazing films. The films that stay with me are often the really dark films that don't help me out at the end. I'm still thinking about them that night, the next day. I wanted to try to make a film like that. I want it to stay with you and linger, and I want you to think about it and say, what do you do? What can we do?
It's a very urgent post-apocalyptic warning.
About today.
Do you think people will take action?
My experience so far is that I'm not going to kind of hold you by the hand and say, do this.
Yeah.
Right? There isn't a line at the end saying, now go out and vote. No, because elections have happened. What else can you do?
2073's other target, the Ubermensch tech bros of Silicon Valley.
Were you not tempted to go and try and actually ask people like Thiel and Bezos and Zuckerberg? Were you not tempted to ask them for their response to your thesis?
I think that's like television news, right? That's your job.
That's
okay?
that's the journalist
that's
coming
you,
out.
Right?
Yeah.
I make my films, and
Right.
the way I make films is I do research and I take material where they've said what they think. And my job is to then put it together, as I've done with Amy, as I did with Senna. I never met Amy, I never met Senna, okay? But I put their life together and I create a mosaic. So this film is my interpretation, no denying it, my interpretation of what's going on in the world. Someone else would have a very different interpretation. The idea of, let me present it to you, get an interview and talk to you, that's what you do.
What do you think they would say?
I don't know if they'd be bothered. They're running the world now. Why would they care what I think?
Asif Kapadia, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, man. Good to talk to you.